We are told from a young age to follow our dreams. It's the great promise of our culture. But has anyone ever stopped to consider if that is, statistically speaking, terrible advice? Today, we are going to put that motivational poster to the test. We will dismantle the logic of chasing a one-in-a-million dream and prove, using established psychological principles, why the most rational and intelligent choice is to quietly settle for average. All right, before we get deep into this, just a quick heads up. This entire video is a satirical thought experiment. It's for entertainment and to make you think. The real message is at the end, so stick around. This is absolutely not real-life advice. Okay, back to our scheduled programming. Our case study for this irrational behavior is the fictional pirate crew from One Piece, the Straw Hats. Let's analyze their goals as if we were risk assessment consultants. Their captain, Monkey D. Luffy, wants to become the Pirate King. This requires finding a legendary treasure that has been missing for over 20 years, a feat no one else has accomplished. His journey has a near 100% failure rate based on historical data. From a logical standpoint, his plan is objectively absurd. His crew is no better. A swordsman aiming to be the best in a world of supernatural powers. A navigator trying to map a planet where physics is a polite suggestion. A doctor trying to cure all diseases. These aren't goals, they are statistical impossibilities. Now, why do we, as rational humans, instinctively understand that this is foolish? The answer lies in the work of Nobel Prize-winning psychologist Daniel Kahneman. His prospect theory shows that humans are governed by loss aversion. The pain of losing something is twice as powerful as the pleasure of gaining something of equal value. A stable, mediocre life has a low chance of big gains, but also a very low chance of catastrophic loss. Chasing an impossible dream, however, has an extremely high chance of catastrophic loss. Your time, your health, your very life. Your brain, in its logical attempt to protect you from pain, correctly identifies the Straw Hat's path as stupid. It is a path of guaranteed suffering. And yet, they keep succeeding, don't they? They consistently defy the odds. This is where our perfectly rational model begins to break down. Logic is a superb tool for navigating a world with known rules, but it has a blind spot. It cannot compute the profound, reality-bending power of what psychologist Angela Duckworth calls grit. In her research, Duckworth found that the single most significant predictor of success was not talent, not IQ, but this combination of passion and perseverance. It's the irrational ability to treat failure not as a stop sign, but as feedback. Furthermore, Stanford psychologist Carol Dweck's work on mindset shows us why. People with a fixed mindset believe their abilities are static. When they fail, they conclude they are not good enough, and the logical choice is to quit. But people with a growth mindset, People like the Straw Hats believe their abilities can be developed. For them, failure isn't a verdict, it's a lesson. They don't see an impossible wall, they see a learning opportunity. This mindset is fundamentally irrational from a pure risk assessment view, yet it is the only mindset that produces extraordinary results. So we arrive at a fascinating conclusion. The logical brain, the part of us that Kahneman studied, is not wrong. It is simply trying to solve for a different variable. The logical brain is trying to solve for survival. And for survival, mediocrity, safety, and predictability are indeed the smartest choices.
But the dreamer, the person with grit and a growth mindset, is not trying to solve for survival. They are trying to solve for meaning and legacy. The conflict isn't between a smart choice and a stupid one. It's between two different goals. To be smart is to live a life that can be easily explained by statistics. To be legendary is to live a life that breaks them. The foolishness of the Straw Hats is not a bug in their system. It is the entire operating system. It's the force that allows them to achieve things that logic would deem impossible. This makes us turn the lens on ourselves. Which variable are you solving for in your own life? Survival or legacy? How many of your decisions are dictated by the rational fear of loss rather than the irrational love for a goal? And what if the foolish dream you abandoned years ago was the only path that could have led to the person you were truly meant to become? Imagine for a moment a future built only by the smart and rational people. It would be a world optimized for efficiency and safety. We would have solved all the predictable problems, but there would be no grand cathedrals, no voyages to the moon, no art that rips your heart out, and no stories of pirates who sailed against all odds to become free. The future isn't built by people who follow the map. It's built by the fools who believe they can draw a new one. What's a foolish dream you secretly hold on to? Share it in the comments below. Let's create a space for irrational goals. If this thought experiment resonated with you, consider subscribing for more. Thank you for thinking with me.